You check them with pure intelligence. Yes, sir. Let me say it louder. For my chosen ones in the back. Listen, family, you check them with pure intelligence. I need somebody to drop in the comments and say we play a different game. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say we play a different game. Now, you take a Mike Tyson who come from the 80s or the 90s, right? I'm talking about when he was Iron Fist Mike, knocking out dudes less than 30 seconds. Okay, you take a Floyd Mayweather when he was in the 90s, 2000s, right, in his prime. Either he knocked you out or he straight up outboxed you. Okay, well, here's the thing, y'all. They were considered to be dangerous. They were considered to be some of the top boxers, and that's true. But see, what if I told you that the person who was really the dangerous one, if I told you the people who was really the ones you needed to watch out for was their accountants? Yep, the ones who are in suits, the ones who wear ties and, they're shaking your hand with grace and with respect. What if I said they were the real ones who you needed to watch? Right? Fat Joe said it best. He says that some of the biggest robbers are the people who wear suits, straight up and down. Now, y'all, watch me unpack this. So, yeah, you are afraid of a Mike Tyson because he can knock you out. You are afraid of a Floyd Mayweather because he's going to outbox you or even knock you out. But who they should really be afraid of is the person that is doing their taxes, right? A person who does your taxes for their benefit, meaning I'm going to take some money from you, and by the time you look up, you're going to owe the IRS 20 million, 30 million. It happened to Steve Harvey too. All right, go look it up. The point of what I'm making is they don't have to be aggressive. They don't have to knock nobody out. They don't even got to get in the ring. All they got to do is get access to your paperwork. They checked you with pure intelligence. This is why you got to have lawyers. This is why you have to have the right accountants, the right people who are behind your paperwork, your business. Make sense of what I'm saying? It's not about outdoing a person with physicality. All right. Sometimes it's about outdoing a person with your mental. It's not about, out verbally abusing or out verbally sparring a person. Sometimes it's about out thinking a person to where you don't even have to talk, to where you don't even have to lift up a finger, lift up a fist, ball a fist. It's not about that. It's about checking a person with pure intelligence. I'm going to give y'all another example. A person like Charleston White, right? People may disagree with me, but I'm going to speak on this anyway. You know why he's able to stand up to the Boosies, the T.I.s, the Jeezys, the whoever, people who are considered to be street guys and people who are afraid of them, especially in the black community? It's because he checks them with pure intelligence, right? He says that I'm not playing the same game y'all play. I'm not about to get guns. I'm not about to get my goons. I'm not about to do any of that. I'm going to just call the police on you. Again, yes, is it funny? Again, can he be ignorant at times? I'm sure he can. However, it's still checking a person with intelligence because I'm playing a different game. I'll make a giant meal with that particular tactic, playing with intelligence. Don't play a person's game. Don't go to their home field to where they have home field advantage, right? But again, when you check a person with pure intelligence, they won't like it because you're not playing their same game. This is when people say, oh, he's running, right? Oh, they're cheating. Oh, they're doing this. They're going to figure out some type of loophole because you're not playing their game. You're playing the intelligence game. And this is what we're going to talk about today, y'all. How you check them with pure intelligence. Trick them out their position. Somebody drop in the comments and say, I tricked you. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say I tricked you. And I also want to say this before I get into this video. By any means am I saying stealing from celebrities or gaining the trust of people who are in high profile positions and making a lot of money is cool. All right. I'm not saying that. That's actually wrong, it's evil, and they should go to prison too. I'm just saying that the people who knock people out or people who, have this type of reputation of being feared and respected can actually get beat by somebody else in a different way. Make sense of what I'm saying? Because this particular person checked them with pure intelligence. guess what, y'all? The laws of polarity says there can be no hot without no cold. So just as well as this can work for bad, it can also work for good. All right. But anyway, y'all, let's go ahead and get directly into it. I know it was a long intro, but it was very well worth it. All right. Let's get directly into it, y'all. Leave a thumbs up on this video as well as subscribe to the channel. Yes, sir. Not only that, y'all, but y'all be sure to ring my bell so you can be notified after every single video I post. Second video of today, and we are right here in front of the legendary Great Couch. And y'all know what goes down in front of the legendary Great Couch. Let's get into it. Number one, y'all, you use logic over emotions. Okay. You used logic over emotions. That's like a person arguing over who the president should be. All right. That is like a person arguing over who the president should be. Should they be a male or a woman? Should they be black, Hispanic, or white? Should they be young or old? Should they be Republican or Democratic? See, my job here today is not to tell you, well, this is what I think the president should be and this is why. However, anytime a person uses logic over emotion, you're going to at least consider it. When a person is speaking from an emotional standpoint, you automatically throw their argument out the window because it has no logic in it. Okay, if it should be a male or woman or male or female, then why? Explain. I'm talking about with facts. Give me the probability over the possibility, meaning tell me how many men or how many women has helped the entire community or has helped many other people in other cultures and has them going in a forward progression. Show me the numbers. Show me the stats, right? If it should be Hispanic, black, or white, show me what they have done for all ethnic races. Show me what they have done for different cultures and communities. Show me the numbers. Give me the probability. All right. If it should be a young or old or Republican or Democratic, show me with logic. All right. Once again, y'all, my goal is not to talk about who the president should be or even make a big discussion, although I probably already have. But what y'all can't take away is what I'm trying to bring to your knowledge is you have to have valid points with logic over your emotions. Well, I feel like it should be this. Well, I think it should be this because it's time. And it should be this because they're going to do better just because. No. What is your argument? Right? If you want a business loan, you got to have a business proposal. Show me with logic. Right? This is how you check a person with pure intelligence. All right. And I'm not going to speak too much on this, y'all, but this is why a lot of people dislike Charlie Kirk. OK, I'm not agreeing with all his points. I'm not being the guy from Django, Samuel Jackson, trying to protect this massa. That's not what I'm talking about. I had points that I disagree with tremendously. But there's also points that was like, well, he's killing you with logic, though, right? So let's talk about the logic. When people can't defeat you with logic, they're going to use emotion. And emotion drives a person to kill you. Emotion drives a person to use weapons. Emotion drives a person to try to put their hands on you. Yeah. And these are things that Charlie Kirk, experienced. And unfortunately, he was murdered, right? Some may say assassinated. But this is what happens when a person uses logic and they beating you with their logic. I'm talking about dominating you with logic. Here you go, coming with that emotion, and they shut it down, all right? Number two is going to be this right here, family. You spoke above their understanding. You spoke above their understanding. This is not about saying that, once again, you're better than a person or that, I know a bigger word than you. I have a bigger vocabulary. Now, there are certain people who have the biggest vocabulary in the world and still dumb. And then there's some people who speak on a simple level, all right? And they're multimillionaires. They understood how to make money. So knowing all these fancy words don't make you any better than anybody else. All right. But guess what? Just because you don't know all these fancy words does not mean that you're dumb. Keep that in mind, y'all. But understand this right here. Cat Williams and Wanda Smith, R.P. to Wanda Smith. I don't want to talk about, someone who can't defend themselves in a negative way. All right. That's what we're not doing. But what we are going to do is make this point, because this has been a legendary moment in the black culture for sure. And in the comedy world, whether it's black or not. Right. But Cat Williams and Wanda Smith, he went on to the radio show. He had a whole bunch of things going on. I think he had situations going on with his kids, and then he was in legal problems and stuff like that. But he also had, I think, an Emmy, or he had some type of award that he had just won, right? Once again, laws of polarity. There could be no good without no bad. He had a whole bunch of bad surrounding him, but he still had some good things that was happening in his life. So he thought that she was going to speak about the good things. He told her specifically, don't talk about X, Y, and Z. She got on the air and spoke about everything he told him, not everything he told her not to speak on, right? And so he didn't cuss her out. He didn't call out a name. He didn't even use her weight. He didn't use anything else. He just spoke beyond her understanding. He was using words like gnarled fingers. He was using different vocabulary words. He was using metaphors to bring her down, not bring her down in self-esteem, but to let her know that, hey, I am a superior comedian. Don't even play with me. He wasn't even trying to hurt her or harm her from the jump. However, he had to defend himself. This is what happens when you check a person with pure intelligence. If y'all never seen the video, look it up, y'all. They are in a radio station. Look it up. I think Red Grant was in there and other people. Look it up. You will see it. The point is that he spoke above her understanding, and she didn't understand how to come at him. She didn't understand what he was even saying. When you speak above a person's understanding, this is a clever way of checking them with pure intelligence. Make sense of what I'm saying, y'all? Drop in the comments and let me know. Number 3 is you allow your silence to speak for you. You allowed your silence to speak for you. Somebody drop in the comments and say silence speaks loud. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say silence speaks loud. I'm going to say this right here, y'all. A wise man once said nothing. A wise man once said nothing. Sometimes, y'all, it's not about what you say. It's about what you don't say. And that in itself is more powerful, because people are left with their own thoughts. They're left with their own opinions. They're left with their own ways of thinking, right? And so with that being said, when a wise man don't say nothing at all, he allows all the fools to make their own assumptions. And he proved why they're fools, right? I'm sure y'all know, for those who've been watching me, y'all know I love the Mafia. I'm very infatuated with the Mafia. The Italian mob, I love how organized they was. I love watching Mafia movies. Like, one of my favorite movies is Goodfellas. I love Godfather. Like, I love the movies, right? However, I study and I use a lot of analogies when it comes to the Mafia. So I'm sure y'all probably have not heard of the Calabrian Mafia. The Calabrian Mafia. We all know about Cosa Nostra. We all know about, the Mafia that is portrayed on television. But we don't know about the Mafia that comes from, I think it's called Calabria or Calabria. It's a part of Italy. It's just another portion of it, right? But how many people know who Remo Casamiso is? Camiso. That's his name. Remo Camiso, right? And tell me how many people know who John Gotti is in the comments. I guarantee you, y'all know who John Gotti is, and I'm sure y'all don't know who Remo Camiso is, right? Camiso. These names be weird, y'all, but y'all stay with me. So, number 1, y'all, the Calabrian Mafia was something. They're just as dangerous and just as powerful, right? And they come from another portion of Italy, not Sicily. We all know about the Mafia that comes from Sicily. But then you have the Gambino family. We all know that John Gotti was not necessarily the owner, but he was the boss of the Gambino family. Nobody knows who Remo Camiso is. Everybody knows who John Gotti is. John Gotti was actually taken down, not because he not because somebody ratted him out from the jump, but because he showed too much. Now, Sammy Gravano ended up, ratting him out, but he drew attention to himself first, right? So I take that back. He was ratted out, but he drew attention to himself first, all right? And how he drew attention to himself was because he was getting pressed as if he was like a legit celebrity. He was speaking on it. He didn't hide it. He didn't keep it in secret. He was John Gotti. That's why we all know John Gotti to this day. Nobody knows who Remo Camiso is. Everybody knows John Gotti. Kevin Gates got a song about John Gotti. There's a movie about John Gotti. Everybody uses John Gotti as an album cover or as an album name. Everybody knows John Gotti. You know why? Because he spoke a lot. He said a lot, right? So once again, yes, he ended up getting ratted out by Sammy the Bull Gravano. I won't take away from it. But he brought attention to himself as well as to the mafia by being as bright as he was. He was very charismatic, but he was too bright, right? Remo Camiso allowed his silence to speak. The reason why he got brought down was because someone ratted him out. But he did not get brought down because he brought attention to himself. No, it was because a person became an informant. That's just what comes with having an organization. I don't care if it's a job. Somebody's going to try to sue you, whether you did right or wrong. I don't care if it's a big family of people. Somebody going to betray somebody. It's going to always be a Judas in every group. I don't care who you are, okay? But nobody knows Remo Camiso for a reason. And that's because he was silent. That's why. Everybody knows the Gambino family. Everybody knows John Gotti. He got famous. He got press. He spoke a lot, all right? And the point that I am making is that you allowed your silence to speak for you, okay? Number 4 is coming this right here, y'all. You control the environment. You control the environment. When you control the environment, think of interrogation rooms, interviews, even interruptions. Notice they all have something in common. The prefix inter, okay? The prefix inter. Interrogation, interviews, and interruption. Listen, y'all. When a person is being interrogated, somebody's talking. When a person is within a interview, somebody's talking. And when a person is interrupting something, somebody's talking. All right. Now, the common denominator is that somebody has to control the environment. Most times the person who is asking the questions are controlling the environment. This is why in an interview or even in an interrogation, when the person try to reverse it and start asking the question, the other person who wants to stay in power may say, I'm asking the questions. You don't ask the questions. That's because that's a power move. When a person is asking questions, they want to stay in control. So when you are checking a person with pure intelligence, you redirect them back to your strong points. You control the environment. You ask the questions, right? You keep them on your playing field. Makes sense what I'm saying? You don't go to their playing field. This is how you check a person with pure intelligence, by controlling the environment. Number 5, y'all, it's going to be this right here, family. Keeping your distance, all right? Keeping your distance. That's going to always be a class act of checking a person with pure intelligence. Family, you got to think of it like this. If you see a snake, what would you do? Would you walk up on it and try to pet it and try to grab it? Or would you just stay away? I would stay away. That's the smartest thing that you can do. Now, although common sense is not so common, and although you would think that, Reno, I know that's what you're going to do anyway. No, somebody would try to jump on it and catch it. Somebody would try to play with it. Somebody would try to do the opposite. I can guarantee you. The point that I'm making is, y'all, is that those who are smart are going to keep their distance, all right? They're not even going to play with it. You know why? Because that's how you check a person with pure intelligence. If I see a snake, and I mean this literally and metaphorically, if I see a snake, I'm going to just keep my distance. I'm not even going to try to expect it to be anything else. I'm not going to try to feed it. I'm not going to try to change it. I'm going to trust it for exactly who it is. All right. Somebody drop in the comments and say, I trust you for who you are. Yes, sir. Make sure you drop in the comments, family, and say, I trust you for who you are. All right. But with that being said, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. Once again, you check them with pure intelligence. All right. Number one, y'all, you use logic over emotions. Number two, you spoke above their understanding. Number three, you allowed your silence to speak for you. Number four, you control the environment. And number five, you kept your distance. All right. With that being said, family, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. If you would like to join the Rich Mentality Academy, y'all be sure to go over and join the membership and go meet your tribe. All right. With that being said, you can book a one-on-one session with your boy. Check out any one of my Yes Sir t-shirts. And of course, family, y'all be sure to get any one of my books. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Keep a rich mentality. Peace.